Alright everybody, welcome to the channel. I thought I'd do a video today on kind of a bit of a fun topic in a way, but I was just speaking to a friend about this and I just find it really interesting. And this is about the occult symbology and Kundalini symbolism in the Harry Potter books and films. And it really interests me how there's so much of this symbolism in a lot of popular culture. And from my perspective, I don't think J.K. Rowling, who wrote the books, I doubt that she consciously put all this in. I think when somebody is in a creative space, they're opening the mind, and essentially they kind of channel certain mythic themes and archetypal symbols through their work. And especially when you're tapping into something like, she was obviously aware of some of this stuff, and once you start tapping into that and tapping into these archetypal energies, the symbolism almost comes through it. A lot of authors speak about the characters telling them the story and stuff, and so once you tap into that, it starts to come through. Anyway, so there's quite a lot of Kundalini based symbolism in Harry Potter films and other esoteric stuff. So I'll start off with a lot of it is around the Quidditch stuff, the sport that they play in Harry Potter. So Harry Potter is the seeker. Yeah, so he's the spiritual seeker. And what is he seeking? Well, he's seeking the golden snitch, which is it's like a golden sphere with wings. So it's essentially the top of the caduceus symbol, the Kundalini kind of caduceus symbol. I'll put a little picture on the screen for anyone who doesn't know that symbol. So Harry Potter is seeking that. He's seeking enlightenment. He's seeking that open crown chakra and the wings of illumination. And he's number 7 on the Quidditch team, so there's 7 chakras as well. So that's interesting because he's throughout the books, as I'll get into in a minute, he's seeking to reach that state of enlightenment through all the 7 chakras. So yeah, the first magical act Harry Potter ever consciously does in the books is releasing the serpent from the cage in the zoo. So this is massively symbolic for the Kundalini Awakening as well. The serpent is asleep and caged, below the base chakra, and he releases that in the very first conscious magical act he does in the books and in the film. You've also got this symbolism around Voldemort potentially being Harry Potter's ego. And Voldemort is completely terrified of death, so he splits his soul into all these different parts. And in order for Harry Potter to defeat his ego, ultimately, he has to surrender his fear of death. He has to surrender into death. So this is a massively shamanic journey he goes on. And if you remember, in the last book and the last film, when he actually surrenders, that's when the golden snitch opens. So the crown opens, and in it is the resurrection stone. And he's surrendered into death and transcended that fear of death. And therefore he is resurrected in the eternal moment. And that is how he manages to defeat Voldemort in the end and kill his ego. So I just think that's so cool. There's other alchemical symbolism in there as well, which this is conscious, I think, from the author as well, because the first book, I think it's called Sorcerer's Stone in America, but everywhere else it's the Philosopher's Stone. So in the very beginning, he's seeking the Philosopher's Stone, which is in alchemy, it's the well, it kind of represents enlightenment. The Philosopher's Stone is an object that can be, I mean, it's multiple layers of meaning, but it can be anything and all things. Harry Potter as well, you know, he's a parcel tongue, so he kind of speaks the language of the serpent. So that's obviously tuning into Kundalini as well, but he's also in Gryffindor as well. He's got that lion kind of heart, so he's got that heart and the wisdom. Yeah, they're just a few little things. I'm sure there's a lot more and some stuff that I haven't thought of. So if there's any other esoteric symbolism that's in those books, let me know. I found when I went through my Kundalini Awakening, like I couldn't watch, for the first few years, I couldn't watch any TV or any films. Like if there was any violence or anything, I would feel the pain like of that going on. And I remember kind of just when I was kind of starting to come out of the kind of bedbound years, and I ended up being drawn to watch the Harry Potter films a lot because they were kind of easy to watch, and it was just, at the time, I wasn't really able to do much physically. And I watched them quite a lot of times and listened to the audiobooks. And yeah, I picked some of that symbolism up from watching and reading them. And I came across some stuff on the internet as well around that. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. I find it interesting. All right, much love everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.